Ever since the fearless year of Shadow, the idea of a Sonic character getting a whole year to themselves was made possible, and since then there has been countless discussions on who could possibly be the next character to get their own year. So far we've only had one character, Shadow, who's had a whole year dedicated to themselves, with another kind of being Amy, who kind of had a soft launch, where not the whole year, but we've had her in a lot of games like Origins Plus and Superstars. So now I want to try and answer the question, who is the next character to get their own year? I'm going to be looking at the most popular candidates that I've been seeing floating around to see who has the best shot. I'll be ordering this video from least likely to most likely. Starting off with what is probably the most popular one, and the one that's probably going to upset the most people, Silver the Hedgehog. Ever since the Year of Shadow was announced, it feels like everybody and their mother was clamoring for this guy to have his own year. Now, if you're familiar with this channel, you may know I've made a video on Silver in the past and why people love him so much, and I'm not really going to get into that as much, but to sum it up, he has cool powers, people really like his character, and he's basically Trunks from DBZ.
This is for Gohan!
But do I think he will get his own year? Well, first off, does he even deserve one? Because let's be honest, he was introduced in Sonic 06, where his introduction was already butchered because it was in that game. And since then, he has had, what, maybe one major role in Sonic Rivals, and maybe Forces, but that was more of a side character role in that game. And in all the other games he's appeared in, he's just been a side character. In Generations, he's relegated to a boss fight and a side character. You see my point. His only major role that he's had outside of the games is IDW, so I guess he's pretty important there, but in the mainline series, he is basically thrown to the wayside. And ever since his introduction, his character has been poorly and absolutely terribly mishandled by Sonic Team. So, do I think Silver should get his own year? 100% absolutely. They have been doing this man dirty for years, and it would be amazing for him to get the treatment that he deserves, especially after all those years. Even try to separate his bad PR from 06. And if we're being brutally honest, that's probably the reason why they don't put him in a lot of mainline stuff anymore, because his character and the negative connotation of that game. But do I realistically think Silver would get his own year next? No, and I don't even think it will happen soon, unfortunately. When we look at Silver, and we look at all of the other characters that stand before him, there are just way too many characters that have been used way more, that more people are interested in, and more popular. And if I'm being painfully honest here, a lot of people just know Silver as Trunks from Sonic, and you can say I'm generalizing or being, you know, oh, that's not everybody, you're just making a crazy assumption. But honest to God, every time I talk about Trunks to someone who isn't a Sonic fan, more often than not, they start off by saying, oh, isn't that the dude who's like Trunks from DBZ? If your most popular trait as a character is being like another character, then it's not looking good for you. And just off the fact that Silver's game would probably be more puzzle platformer with less speed compared to Sonic, Silver's prospects aren't looking too high. If Sega ever did a year of Silver, it would also probably be a year of no bans for Sega.
$7? Are you fucking serious? This isn't enough for anything. What are you, a 6-year-old?
Silver's friend, however, Blaze the Cat, first introduced in Sonic Rush, has been a fan favorite for many years, last appearing in The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. But if we look at the game she's in, honestly, she appears in probably the same amount of games as Silver, and she also gets relegated as a side character even faster after 06, and she doesn't have any major roles in any games, maybe besides the Black Knight, when she's not even playing herself. And again, similar to Silver, her more major appearances in stories happen in IDW rather than the main game, so she's in a pretty similar boat to Silver. But why is she more likely to have her own year? Well, simply put, she's more popular than Silver to the general audience. She appears earlier in the series, so more people are invested in her. She has a more major role in the Sonic games that she's in, like Sonic Rush Adventure, 06, and Black Knight, where Silver only had, what, 2 in 06 and a pretty forgettable one in Rivals, her characters and worlds she's from sound way more appealing, being from another dimension, the Soul Dimension, which is basically another alternate reality to Sonic's, and being the princess of that dimension. So we have that whole world that can be explored if they ever decide to do a Blaze only game in the Soul Dimension. It will definitely help that her gameplay is way more similar to Sonic's, and with her unique flame abilities similar to Shadow, she can have her own moveset that can make her unique compared to Sonic. So honestly, it wouldn't be surprising if we got a Year of Blaze before we got a Year of Silver. She's already had a major role in 2 games that are pretty beloved in the franchise, so I think a lot of people would be pretty happy if she got her own game. Now, we're getting to the 2 most likely candidates on our list. Knuckles the Echidna. He is one of the OG 3 Sonic characters, and is definitely one of the most popular Sonic characters, no question. So I think a Year of Knuckles is definitely in the stars, so instead of talking about why he should get one, because he probably will get one eventually, I'm gonna rather just talk about what we could see when it goes down. So first off, Knuckles Show Season 2. Hear me out. We all know that the Knuckles Show didn't go over the greatest, but there has already been talks of another season of the Knuckles Show featuring the Chaotix, so automatically it has to be like 10 times better. And you have free marketing too. You just name Season 2 Knuckles Chaotix. It's literally so free. Now, when it comes to games, a Knuckles game has so much potential to be such a great game. It's funny because when that new Donkey Kong game was revealed, and it was a 3D platformer, the first thought that a lot of Sonic fans had was, Knuckles, are you just gonna take this, bro? So a 3D Knuckles open zone platformer has so much potential, and not only can he punch stuff and destroy the environment around him, but Knuckles can also climb and glide. So the traversal motherfucker. So the traverse fucking cocksucker. So the traversal, oh my god. So the traversal potential is actually insane. It could be in a similar vein to the Frontier system where you go around collecting stuff, but since it's Knuckles, there should also be a main collectible like the Master Emerald Shards or some type of MacGuffin. And if you want to go full Donkey Kong, Knuckles could again just destroy the ground around him and the world around him and have hidden collectibles in like different caves that are hidden unless Knuckles destroys the wall or something. And the level design could be so explorative and expansive compared to any open zone type of platformer that we see in this genre. And if they want to go full crazy mode, they can even throw in some combat in there because Knuckles is definitely more known to be a combat centric character than Sonic, so maybe they can get some actual combat designers to make a really fun combat system. I think a Year of Knuckles could go over extremely well. He's a very popular character with some of the most potential for a unique game out there, so it would literally be free money. But there is one character who has the most potential out of all of them. Metal Sonic. The first rival of Sonic's, made to be Sonic's equal in every way, first introduced all the way back in Sonic CD in 1993, and has appeared in many games since then. While not having as big of an impact in later games even after CD, he still has a prominent space in the franchise, and is one of the most popular rivals to Sonic, probably right behind or even right next to Shadow. So why does he deserve a year compared to all of these other characters? Because I feel like out of all of the characters here, he's the one who we've barely explored. And some might say, oh, he's just a robot version of Sonic, it's not that deep. But I think we could really have a cool game on our hands with a really cool premise. Eggman has all these other Sonic robots that he's made in the past, like Mecha Sonic, Silver Sonic, and we might even throw in some scrapped Mecha Sonic variants from Sonic Extreme. And basically, something happens and the whole base malfunctions, and all of these Metal Sonic clones are out causing chaos, and Eggman wanted to get them under control so that they don't cause a problem in the future, sends out the only Metal Sonic that is still in his control, the original Metal. So he goes out and destroys them all, and throughout the game we can play basically like a traditional Sonic game, since Metal is quite literally made to be Sonic's exact copy, so the gameplay doesn't have to be completely different. But since he is Metal, Like Shadow, he can have unique moves that set him apart from Sonic, like maybe an air dash that can shoot him in any direction that can allow for some more expansive level design, or if he fills up a special meter, he can destroy hazards similar to how he does in Sonic CD. And for the story, we see Metal come face to face with these different alterations of himself, and we'll see him have to come to grips with what he really is. I think a story like that, if it's fleshed out, I think could be really cool for Metal. Now, why do I think Metal Sonic is probably the most likely to get his own year? Well, for starters, he's getting his own movie pretty soon. Yeah, Sonic Movie 4 is confirmed to have Metal Sonic as a villain in the story, so they would definitely want to cash in on that character's popularity, similar with what they did with Shadow. Secondly, I think when it comes to popularity, Metal Sonic is probably right up there with Shadow and Sonic himself, simply due to the fact that he shares a likeness with Sonic. And third of all, Sonic CD outside of the Sonic fanbase is a pretty popular game for some reason. It's the fucking music. We all know it's the music. Songs like Palm Tree Panic, Past, and Stardust Speedway Bad Future are extremely popular songs, and specifically Stardust Speedway Bad Future, it's so popular that it's become basically Metal Sonic's main theme. And I mean, we've had that whole corny ass meme with the Metal Sonic plush, so Metal Sonic getting his own year makes the most sense out of all of these, at least to me. And with that, those are all of the characters that are the most popular and when I think they're gonna get their years. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment down below, what character do you want to have their own year? Do you agree with my picks? Do you agree with my rankings, kind of? Let me know, because I want to hear you guys' opinion. I really do think that Metal Sonic is up next. I think people really underestimate how popular he is outside of the fan base. Like, I feel like a solid 3-4 months, I've been seeing him all over my fucking TikTok feed and my Instagram feed, and I barely see Sonic on my TikTok feed, even though I'm a Sonic fan, right? The TikTok algorithm just picks up on it now, I guess, and it's all Metal Sonic, so it's interesting. I do think he's next. Knuckles is probably a close second. I would really like to see Blaze, maybe Amy get her own proper year, but who knows? We will only see. Time will tell. And that's really all I have to say today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Again, don't forget your AMVs. Don't forget.